Hello, cruel world. So opinion polls in Russia suggest that the majority of Russian people are actually backing the war against Ukraine. But is it fair to judge those people? And more importantly, do they actually know the truth? Do they know what's going on? Hello, cruel world. My name is Dr. 𝐏𝐬𝐲𝐝. I'm a consultant forensic psychiatrist. You can call me the ominous 𝐏𝐬𝐲𝐝. So to answer that question, do the Russians really know what's going on? I think the answer is no, because, for example, Facebook is blocked. Their mainstream media is very much restricted on what they're allowed to report. And if people do try and suggest that Russia are in the wrong at all, then it can be branded as fake news, and you can actually be arrested and imprisoned for up to 15 years for spreading that information, which they call fake news. So for example, if you're caught calling the whole situation an invasion or use the term war, that would be deemed as fake news by the Russian government. Instead, the spin, the kind of propaganda they're putting on it, is that the whole scenario has to be kind of promulgated as defending Russia against the NATO-backed kind of Nazis. And we have to remember that especially older Russian people, they don't really know to try and make their own minds up or use social media. They rely on what they hear from the state-run TV. So for example, they're not shown pictures of destruction of what the Russian tanks are doing in Ukraine, etc., etc. In fact, this whole propaganda is reflected by a show of solidarity in Russia, which is the letter Z for Zelensky. So it's like a veiled threat against Zelensky. The letter Z is on the side of particular, I think it first appeared in Russian tanks. Z, by the way, for our American viewers, is the letter Z. All I can say is I hope that Zorro trademarked it because he's losing out on a lot of potential cash. By the way, if you're interested in Zelensky, I've done a psychoanalysis video about him, and I've done another psychoanalysis video on Putin if you want to know their psychological makeup. Going back to the letter Z, there was even a member of the Russian athletics team who in the Gymnastics World Cup recently in Doha had like the letter Z across, like a tiny little letter across, stitched across his chest, and was restricted and punished for doing that. So what I'm saying is pretty morbid. It's not painting a good or particularly optimistic picture. But the good news is a few things. First of all, we live in an age of mobile phones. So I don't think that it can be hidden for too long. I think more and more footage will come out about the destruction that's occurring in the Ukraine. Number two, people are becoming active. So there are hackers that are trying to break into Russian social media to show the Russian people the truth of what's going on. And it's working to a degree. So I think it was a weekend before last, there were almost 4,500 protesters in many cities across Russia protesting against the war. So what I'm saying is the truth, I think, is seeping into the Russian consciousness. So I think an interesting question is the trade embargoes that are going on. Is it fair? Because we're kind of punishing the Russian people on information or misinformation they don't really know. Like for example, cutting off all these supplies and all these financial deals. McDonald's has removed itself from Russia, and I think everybody would agree that it's a sad, sad world if people are not entitled to their Big Macs. Okay, so that's enough from me, dear viewers. I want to know what you think is going on. Do you think Russians know the truth? Do you think it's fair to blame them? Do you think the embargoes are fair? Let me know in the 𝐏𝐬𝐲𝐝 section below. If you're relatively new to this channel, this is quite unusual for me. I don't usually do just news pieces, but I just had this opinion and I just wanted to share it, and because I wanted to see what the people think. Usually my videos are about a crossover between offending and true crime and mental illness. So for example, I've done some videos about the psychology behind stalking, psychology behind internet trolls, high profile cases of various serial killers, etc., etc. If any of that interests you, go 𝐏𝐬𝐲𝐝, check out my channel. All that remains for me to say is have a blessed day, watch my videos, buy my book, but most importantly, do not forget, stay 𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐲𝐝, and I love you.